I expressly do not consent to this court's jurisdiction and do not.
Well, then you are not a named party. So if you're not consenting to this court's jurisdiction, sit down. You can go.
Oh, I see. So I need to.
I don't know what you need to do, but
Okay, I'm not really understanding that.
This sovereign citizen squatter refused to leave a $1 million home. She walked into Judge Simpson's court smiling like she had already won. Judge Simpson wiped that smile off real fast, and what he hit her with at the end, she never saw coming.
So apparently this lady is what you would call a sovereign individual. From my understanding, it's a group of people who prove they are native of this land, and they get certain privileges or certain advantages, disadvantages maybe that the average everyday American doesn't have. So it's going to be interesting to see. The title of this video is Squatter Thinks She Can Keep a $1 million Home, Gets Massive Reality Check. What do you think is going to happen? It would be nice to have a $1 million home, doesn't it? I'd like something like that.
Ms. Banks claims to be an occupant of the property. She filed a bankruptcy case listing the property as hers. This is a $1 million house in Ann Arbor that Ms. Whitlow purchased with a mortgage and less than a year later defaulted, and we came forward to evict. Since then, there have been multiple bankruptcies. Ms. Whitlow filed 2 different bankruptcy cases. A young man who apparently lives in Arizona filed a bankruptcy case and listed this property as his residence. Ms. Banks has filed a bankruptcy case and listed the property as her residence. It should also be noted that Ms. Banks was a bankruptcy preparer and has been forbidden from the bankruptcy court from preparing bankruptcies for anyone other than herself. We would like to move.
So I want to give a quick synopsis of what's going on here. So I'm originally from Ohio, for those who don't know, and welcome. But for those people who watch me, you know I'm originally from Ohio. Michigan is right next to Ohio. I had a best friend, a close friend, I'll say that, from Ann Arbor, Michigan. So I know what the real estate is like out there. It's not expensive, right? So $1 million home, those are like Cali prices, right? So that just gets you, lets you know what's going on here. And it sounds like from this, she used to prepare bankruptcies as a previous career. So she knows the ins and outs. When you're in a certain industry, you get to see behind the scenes, under the veil, through the lens that the average person cannot see. So she knows a whole bunch of tips and tricks, right? Which probably is why she was feeling entitled to do this. But let's see.
Move forward with an immediate eviction, at most an 11-day vacate. And if for some reason that would not be amenable to the court, we would ask for an escrow order or a bond. On a $1 million property, I think it would be reasonable that $10,000 a month rent would be reasonable.
Just for 60 seconds, and then I wrote something up because I am nervous, quite nervous. But I, Doshia Banks, is respectfully appear, specially and conditionally, for the sole purpose of protecting federally vested occupancy rights and opposing unlawful state action. I expressly do not consent to this court's jurisdiction and do not.
Well, then you are not a named party. So if you're not consenting to this court's jurisdiction, sit down. Oh. You can go because you're not a named party.
He said you can get on out of here.
Lease.
You are not a named party on this. You may have a lease with someone else, and then you can go challenge it. With who?
With Whitlow. Ms.
Whitlow. Then you need to go against Miss Whitlow.
Pardon me?
Then you may need to go against Miss Whitlow. But if you're not consenting to the jurisdiction of this court, you might as well just sit down. You are not a named party. I do not have to hear from you.
Oh, I see. So I need to.
I don't know what you need to do, but.
Well, let me respond.
To what?
Fair
You're not consenting to the jurisdiction of this court. Why am I hearing from you?
I'm recanting.
You're recanting what?
What I just stated.
Which part?
The part that I stated that I'm not I lost my spot. Not consenting to this court's jurisdiction. So
She don't even know what she want to do. What it sound like to me. I had a coworker who talks about this particular group of people, like the people who say, "Hey, we're natives from here. You know, we identify as X, Y, Z. Right? We're sovereign individuals. We're not under the United States jurisdiction." And he told me about how one of his buddies went to federal jail because he was saying how when you do this type of stuff, you need to really have your ducks in order. You need to have your paper rate straight. You need to be able to prove everything you're saying. You need to study the law, because he talks about how his friend went to jail, minor time, blah, blah, blah. But he tried to get out saying, "Hey, I'm a sovereign individual. This doesn't apply to me, blah, blah, blah." He ended up giving himself some crazy time. Instead of going to like a local jail, he went federal. So be careful if you're doing that.
I'm going to recant that.
So you are consenting to this court's jurisdiction?
At this moment.
Well, no, it doesn't work that way. You don't get to say, well, now it's okay, and then not later say no.
Okay.
You know what? Here's the problem. You've not filed anything with this court. So I don't know why, on those grounds, why I'm hearing from you.
Okay.
Okay. Silence. Is it on mute? What's going on?
If I may, I do have time, I do believe, to go file an answer and counterclaim. I was just led under false.
Answer and counterclaim to what?
To their complaint for eviction.
You have a lease allegedly, with Miss Whitlow.
Correct.
Then that is who you need to pursue it against.
She got her information from ChatGPT.
Or whatever the heck you're doing. Because there is no privity of contract to the extent there would be, or relationship as between the plaintiff in this case and you.
Okay, I'm not really understanding, but.
Well, let me put it a little bit more simply. If I grant the relief of the plaintiff in this case, and grant an order of a judgment and an order of eviction in 10 days.
Okay.
Any claim of your interest in that property, you have to go after the Whitlows, because that's the only person you have a contract, allegedly have a contract with.
Okay. No, there is an actual contract.
I don't know that, man.
Yeah, the Whitlows are not real and she knows it. She definitely just made up a landlord so she could make up a lease so she could stay in a house she has no business being in. And like the fact that she had the nerve to walk in here without a single document to back up any of it really gets me. This woman got banned from filing bankruptcies for other people, and somehow 4 of them ended up on this one property. I mean, that just tells you everything. The fact that she tried to recant her own jurisdiction speech mid-hearing like that resets anything is actually insane to me. You cannot just take back what you said and act like the judge just forgot you said it 10 seconds ago. I feel like she genuinely thought if she kept talking long enough, something would stick. And Judge Simpson just kept shutting every single door on her. Do you think she actually believed her own story? Or was she just hoping the judge would let it slide?
I don't know. I don't know that.
Okay. I know you don't know that. It's not before you.
Correct.
I see. So basically, the notice of removal that the Whitlows did,
they are not here. I don't know. I have documents that they filed with this court that are not signed. So I don't have to accept them. She has not appeared before this court, or they have not appeared before this court. And so
you can just tell he's fed up with this whole thing. He knows that more than likely she's just filled with it, fooled with it, ate it, all that stuff. But he has to have a professional demeanor. He has to handle things accordingly, so he can't just necessarily call people out. But you can just tell by his body language, the way he's posturing, his voice tone, everything. He's over this. He's done.
As far as I'm concerned, any relief they're requesting I can, and as of right, deny, and it should be denied also on the merits of whatever their motion is.
Yup.
But I can deny it because they're not here.
Again, stating to me, I want to make sure I'm clear that my issue is with the Whitlows, not with VMC.
Ma'am, I am not giving you legal advice.
No, I
You're
don't.
telling me that you have a contract. I do not know that you have a contract, but if you wish to enforce that contract, that's who you're going to have the issue with. You're not going to have the issue with the plaintiff in this case because they have right to own the property.
Okay. All right, Your Honor, I will.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I should have said at the beginning of the video, but I'll just include it now. So for those who don't know, squatters are people who possess houses. So this happened, I guess it was common during like 9/11 and during the COVID, because a lot of things going on with the economy, people getting foreclosed, blase, whatever. So it's, let's say you have a house that's maybe newly constructed, or if you have a house where maybe the owner's on an extended vacation or away, blah, blah, blah. Squatters are the people who will physically move in. Maybe they change the locks, maybe they break a window, however they're able to get in, and then they pretend like the house is theirs. Because in certain states, if you can show residency for a certain amount of time, I think it's like, for example, in Nevada, I think it's like 2 months. So if you show you're getting mail there, all it has to be something as simple as mail. You could order some Amazon packages there. You could change your bank's billing statement, stuff like that, to show you have residency. You got action.
Speak with the Whitlows that I have finally got an understanding of everything. And I will speak with plaintiff's attorney as well and continue to communicate with Remax, who has came by the house several times.
All right. Based upon the representation of counsel, I'm going to grant their motion to reopen this case. I'm going to issue a judgment in the plaintiff's favor for possession with a writ to issue 10 days of my signing. Should the matter be appealed, also contained in that judgment in order, the appeal bond I would set at this time at a rental rate or a rate, and I have looked at the property which is involved in this matter, and it is a significant property. I don't think the $10,000 a month quite does it based upon my calculations. So any appeal bond would be set in the amount of $15,000 per month that would need to be paid to maintain the appeal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
I will prepare that and present it to you this morning.
Thank you.
May I say something? Our lease payments was not that high at all. I'm not sure what her mortgage payments were. That was not our amount we paid.
Then I'll tell you what. If the Whitlows wish to come and object to my order of $15,000 as an appropriate bond, they may do so. I do not believe that you have standing to object to the court's order.
She came in here with fake documents, a fake landlord, and a sovereign citizen speech, and walked out with a 10-day eviction order and a $15,000 a month appeal bond she definitely can't afford. Judge Simpson didn't even flinch once the entire hearing, and that is what happens when you try to run a scheme on someone who has seen it all before. A few weeks later after this court hearing, she actually failed to pay the monthly rent, so as this video has gone up, she is currently—
You already know how that's gonna end. She's gonna get kicked out. She can't afford that amount. And it's crazy. Happy weekend, everyone. Happy 888 day. 888.